Good day. We are Group 2 from GED110 B74 under Ma'am Elizabeth Espiritu, and we're here to present Breathing In, addressing the stressors of our atmospheric environment. In this presentation, we will talk about the biogeochemical cycle, married with the oxygen cycle, to be led by Ms. Parongaw. This will talk about the movement of oxygen gas in the atmosphere of Earth, exploring the cycle of oxygen gas in the atmosphere. Next is the anthropogenic effect by Mr. Comia. Anthropogenic effect discusses the different effects humans do in the environment. This can be good or bad. Invasive species. Invasive species talk about species that are non-native and have the possibility to harm a local ecosystem. To be discussed further by Ms. Taiko. And last but not least, ecogenetics by Mr. Salvador. This will talk about how behaviors and the environment may cause one's gene to change. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation.
The air in the atmosphere is composed of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% of other trace gases. Oxygen was introduced by cyanobacteria through photosynthesis, and over time, increased to levels similar to today's estimates. Oxygen is abundant in the air and water, and is essential for life forms as it plays a role in biomolecules such as proteins and nucleic acids. The oxygen cycle, along with the carbon and nitrogen cycles, is essential for life on Earth. It involves the movement of oxygen through the atmosphere, biosphere, and lithosphere, and is connected to the carbon cycle. The atmosphere, biosphere, which is the sum of ecosystems, and lithosphere, which is the Earth's crust, are the three main spheres in which the oxygen cycle operates. The lithosphere is the largest reservoir of oxygen. The oxygen cycle involves three stages. The first one is that plants release oxygen into the atmosphere during photosynthesis. The second one, aerobic organisms use oxygen for respiration, and the third one, animals exhale carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere, which is used by plants for photosynthesis, balancing the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere. The four main processes using atmospheric oxygen are breathing by living organisms, decomposition of dead organisms, combustion of organic materials, and rusting of metals. These processes consume and release oxygen, balancing the amount in the atmosphere. Oxygen is essential for life and is involved in breathing, combustion, supporting aquatic life, and decomposition of organic waste. The oxygen cycle helps maintain oxygen levels in the atmosphere through photosynthesis, releasing oxygen, humans and animals breathing it in and exhaling carbon dioxide, and the plants using that carbon dioxide. The oxygen and carbon cycles are interconnected.
The carbon-oxygen cycle is influenced by human activities such as the use of fossil fuels. As a result, anthropogenic activities impact global land oxygen flux. Humans also have an impact on the oxygen cycle by constantly inhaling and using it in their bodies, resulting in global deoxygenation, which can be harmful to aerobic life forms and plant metabolism. The release of oxygen by cyanobacteria was responsible for changes in the Earth's atmospheric condition, the rise of aerobic metabolism, the use of sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide in photosynthesis, and the evolution of life on Earth. Oxygen levels in the atmosphere may last only another billion years, and oxygen is essential for animal life. The emergence and the spread of complex eukaryotic life on Earth are linked to the secular evolution of surface oxygen level. Anthropogenic activity induces an intensification of the greenhouse effect that leads to global warming. With greenhouse effect, there are two possibilities. First is the anthropogenic activity results in more GHG emission. These gases will be more concentrated in the lower layers of the atmosphere where human activity occurs, and the troposphere then radiates more energy towards the Earth's surface. Therefore, the global temperature increases. Next is the GHG concentration reduces in the vicinity of the Earth's surface and concentrates towards the upper layers of the atmosphere for some unknown reasons. In this case, the troposphere radiates less toward the Earth, leading to a decrease of Earth's atmosphere.
A non-native species is considered to be invasive when it threatens local biodiversity, vegetative cover, and native flora and fauna populations. On human health and the environment's quality, invasive species have both good and harmful effects. One of the main causes of biodiversity loss is invasive species, which through a variety of methods affects ecosystem services and social and economic situations. For instance, the water hyacinth can lower the water's carbon dioxide content, which will change the quantity of CO2 that the nearby plants can access. Due to their quick growth and ability to build thick layers of the water, These free-floating invasive aquatic plants can also obstruct the progress of other aquatic animals. These mats shade out nearby native aquatic plants, shielding them from the sunlight that would otherwise kill them. As the amount of dissolved oxygen in the contaminated area declines as a result of the breakdown process, a problem arises. As a result, the limited oxygen diffusion combined with the large production of organic matter favors the formation of methane. As the primary cause of global warming and a potential source of air pollution, methane is bad for the environment. Invasive species have indirect effects on the ecosystem that should not be disregarded because, on a large scale, they can seriously harm not just the affected area but also the environment's natural processes, including the oxygen cycle.
Epigenetics. Epigenetics studies genetic change in genes expression that do not require changes in the DNA sequences. All body cells contain the same genes. Although this might be the case, how different cell types look and function depends entirely on the different gene expression patterns, resulting in various protein sets. The genes are sensitive to external factors present in our environment. An example is air particles, where air pollution can easily be carried off through the air. This is one of the most common types of pollution in our society. An example of air pollution is the burning of different materials such as rubber, plastic, and styrofoam, which damages the quality of air around us and significantly damages the environment by causing damage to the ozone layer. Another form of air pollution that is common in our society is from our vehicles themselves, especially from the air that comes from the exhaust of cars. Another form of air pollution is secondhand smoke or smoking itself, which, as we can see from various studies, lead to many respiratory system diseases. Air pollution contains some finer particles which can be inhaled and incorporated into the bloodstream, which can be a common cause for epigenetic modifications and has been observed to increase the risk of obtaining diseases.
Concluding this video, the world is such a fascinating place. From the great balance of the biogeochemical cycle and the oxygen cycle that demonstrate in which way energy is used, to the different effects of human to the physical environment in anthropogenic effects, to the equilibrium of ecosystem defending themselves from invasive species, to how the environment and behavior can affect how we develop as human beings through epigenetics. Each of the topics discussed makes one appreciate how well made and balanced the world is. In addition to the resources of Earth that are all free access to human beings, we can do whatever we want. But we must remember not to indulge too much, as this could lead to the destruction and irreversible damage of our environment. Let's appreciate the Earth more, protect it and take care of it, as it provides whatever we need. That concludes our presentation. Thank you so much.